starring Tommy Rettig as Jeff Miller, Jan Clayton as his mother, Ellen, George Cleveland as Gramps, and, of course, Lassie.
Pie and ice cream. Zoe!
Where do you see any ice cream?
In the ice house. You made some today.
That's where it's gonna stay. One dessert at a time.
Where do you think you are, the Ritz?
Can I give Lassie a piece of pie?
I don't think pie's any good for dogs, honey.
Well, I tried. Mom, Gramps, look!
Howdy, folks. Howdy. Peabody's the name. Mr. Peabody. Men, pots, sharpen blades, wheelwright, tinker, jack of all trades. No job too big, no job too small. Just leave it to Lester. He does them all. What's your name, son?
Jeff Miller. This is Lassie.
Well, now, real friendly, ain't she?
This is my mom.
Oh, pleased to meet you, ma'am.
How do you do? Would you like some pie and coffee?
Would you?
Well, a man would be a fool to turn it down.
Come on in, then.
Come on, Mr. Peabody.
Good a wedge of pie as ever I ate, ma'am.
On account of you, Mr. Peabody, we got ice cream with it.
Oh, now, Jeff. Would you like another piece?
Well, ma'am, now that you mention it.
Ain't nothing wrong with the appetite, is there?
No, sir. Two things I do good. Eat and sleep. I'll be 73 next September and never had a sick day.
73? He's older than you, Gramps.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am.
Surely.
Gramps, maybe Mr. Peabody could help you mend the fence in the North Meadow.
Wire, stone, or split rail?
Wire.
What a fortunate coincidence. I happen to be the best wireman north of the Pecos, even if I do say so myself. I fenced in 10 acres single-handed one day from dawn to dusk.
10 acres.
11, come to think of it.
All right, tomorrow we'll see how good you are. I'll give you $3 a day, board and keep. You can bed down out there in the barn. There's a cot there.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
I'll show you where it is. You want to come now?
Just as soon as I finish this outstanding example of the culinary art.
Did you really fence in 11 acres in one day? Gramps doesn't believe it.
You want to know the bounden truth? It was 12. I tore my hands up some doing it, though. Barbed wire it was.
Is that how you got that scar?
This? No, arrow wound.
You mean Indian arrow?
I don't mean nothing else. Battle of Baldy Creek. Indians wiped out the whole regiment except for me. And there I was, fighting off 50 redskins single-handed.
Golly.
I got half of them before one arrow struck me here in the side and another one went clear through my hand. Now, I pulled the one out of my side, but I couldn't get the one out of my hand. So I just broke it off and dove into the river.
You said it was a creek.
Huh? Oh, yeah, well, they call it a creek, but you ought to see it when the spring floods is coming through there. Why, son, that water is churning and a-boiling like a witch's kettle. Why, there was tree trunks bigger than circus tent poles being carried downstream just like there were straws. But that didn't bother me none. I dove in and I swam 2 miles to the far shore.
Dad! I gotta go now. Will you tell me the rest tomorrow?
Oh, sure thing. Good night, son.
Good night, Mr. Peabody. Mom, Mr. Peabody was telling me about the Battle of Baldy Creek and fighting Indians and getting wounded with an arrow. There he was all alone fighting 50 Indians.
Yeah, but see how many Indians you can discover on your way to bed.
Oh, gosh, Mom, I don't want to go to bed yet.
You never want to go to bed yet.
Oh, gee. Mr. Peabody's going to tell me some more stories, though, tomorrow. Gosh, he's terrific. He's been everywhere and done everything.
Jeff, you didn't say goodnight to your grandfather.
Oh, yeah. Night, Gramps.
Oh, Jeff's all excited. Mr. Peabody's like a new toy.
I should have sent him packing.
Ah, you know you don't mean that.
I certainly do. I don't like him filling Jeff full of a lot of hot air. Injun fighter. I'll get rid of him tomorrow.
Doesn't seem quite fair. He may be a good worker.
He probably never strung a wire in his life. He's just a big talker, that's all.
They'll drive easier if you slam them a little, Mr. Miller.
Don't tell me how to drive staples. I've been driving them since I was a boy.
Ooh. Gotta be careful of that barbed wire, Mr. Miller. Come near lose my hand once on account of barbed wire. Blood poison set in. I'll be carrying that scar to my grave.
I thought you got that fighting Indians.
Huh?
Battle of Baldy Creek. 50 Indians, single-handed.
Sir, you are referring to the Battle of Upper Baldy Creek, and I was referring to the one at Lower Baldy.
That does it. We're quitting.
Oh, shucks, we ain't half done yet.
We'll finish up tomorrow. Give you an extra day's work.
And there, standing right there in front of me, as big as life, was General George E. Custer.
The name happens to be George A. Custer.
Oh, you're right, sir. But us that knew him well called him George E. Now, where was I?
There he was standing, big as life.
Oh, yes. Well, Lester, he said. He always called me Lester. Lester, you done the United States Army the biggest service a man ever done it. So I'm pinning this here solid gold medal right here on your chest.
Goodness, I'm going to bed.
Good night, Mr. Miller.
Good night, Gramps.
Well, here it is.
Gee, thanks. Can I try it on?
I don't see why not.
Jeff, time for bed.
Look, Mom, look at the leather belt Mr. Peabody made for me.
Oh, honey, it's beautiful. Come on, off to bed.
Oh, gee, do I have to go to bed now?
It's high time, don't you think?
Yeah, I guess so. Good night, Mom.
Good night, dear.
Good night, Mr. Peabody.
Good night, son.
Just what sort of magic powers do you possess, Mr. Peabody?
Well, boys just sort of like me, ma'am.
Well, I think it's my bedtime, too, Mr. Peabody.
You mind if I set a while, ma'am?
Not at all. Just be sure and turn out the lights when you leave.
Yes, ma'am.
Good night.
Good night, ma'am.
What are you doing prowling around this time of night?
Prowling?
What's that you're hiding behind you?
Just an old piece of burlap. Well, Mr. Miller, you don't think that...
I've been thinking a lot of things. Good night.
Good night, sir.
Mr. Peabody, how long is it going to take to finish wiring the fence?
Well, now, that depends.
We'll finish today, you can bet your bottom dollar.
The only reason I asked is I thought maybe if you got done early, you could take me swimming.
You ain't got no time to take you swimming.
Did Gramps say anything about you staying on and helping around the farm after the fence gets wired?
I don't recollect hearing nothing like that. Takes money, you know, to keep a hard hand.
Oh, Gramps has a lot of money.
Oh, he has, eh?
Sure, he needs some help around the farm because of his back. Will you ask him, Mr. Peabody?
Well, now,
Oh, I know he wants you to stay. All you gotta do is ask him.
Hope the hen house is cleaner than you are. Did you feed the pigs? Did a good day's work today, sweetie.
Yeah, but I didn't get to see Mr. Peabody once all day. Not for 1 minute.
Oh, well, you'll see him at supper. He'll be ready about an hour. Why don't you go in and take a nice hot bath and get into some clean clothes?
A bath, too?
Yes, my love, a bath, too.
I wonder what Gramps is talking to Mr. Peabody about.
I haven't the slightest idea. You'll rub that design off the plate if you keep massaging it.
Golly!
Golly, what?
I hope Gramps isn't going to send Mr. Peabody away.
Here's your wages.
thank you, sir. Thank you. It's been real nice staying here with you folks, Mr. Miller. I got to be very fond of that boy, Jeff. Nice youngster. I see a lot of you in him, Mr. Miller. Knows his own mind and ain't afraid to speak up. You got no worry with that boy. No, sir.
Well, he's the best.
No argument there. Real upstanding youngster. I sure hope he don't take this wrong.
Well, take what wrong?
Well, did you see, Mr. Miller? I like that boy real well. And he's latched on to me since I've been here. Thinks I'm pretty big stuff. Well, that's all right. No harm. Just so long as it don't lead to trouble between you and him.
Hey, what are you driving at?
Well, I got a feeling if he ever finds out that you sent me packing, you're gonna come down a notch in his eyes. I sure don't want that to happen. It's been mighty nice meeting you and your family, Mr. Miller. Mighty nice. Take care, huh?
Where's Mr. Peabody?
He's leaving in the morning.
Leaving? Why?
Well, how should I know? Just said he had to be moving on, that's all.
Well, where is he now?
In the barn, I guess.
Mom, can I?
Oh, well, now, come on in.
Why are you leaving, Mr. Peabody?
Oh, well, the work's all done. Gotta move on.
There's plenty of work to be done on the farm. Gramps can't do much on account of his rheumatism. The cow's got to be milked, corn's got to be cultivated, and pretty soon we're going to start butchering the pigs.
Oh, sure. There's always things to do around a farm.
Well, then why are you leaving?
Can you keep a secret? No, I guess I better not.
Oh, please, Mr. Peabody, I won't tell anybody. I cross my heart and hope to die.
Well,
Please.
all right, but you gotta swear not to breathe a word.
I swear.
Truth of the matter is, I've been staying here under false pretenses.
What's that mean?
It means I'm traveling incognito on account I'm on a secret mission.
Golly.
Yep. Mexican government sent me over here to find this fabulous buried treasure. And I found it.
Where is it?
Well, I ain't dug it up yet, but I'm figuring on doing that the first thing in the morning. I know where it is.
Is it near here?
Yeah, it's right across from the meadow where your Gramps and me was fence mending.
Golly. Could I help you dig it up, Mr. Peabody? Could I, please?
Well, I don't know.
Oh, please, Mr. Peabody, please.
I gotta do it at the crack of dawn. Don't want nobody to see us digging.
I'll be up. Honest, I will.
All right, but don't you breathe a word to nobody.
I won't. Not a word.
You better get to bed. Crack of dawn.
Good night, Mr. Peabody.
Good night, son. All set?
Yep. I brought some lamb chops along in case we get hungry.
Oh, good idea. No sense waking up the folks. Let's push her out to the road and we can start her up from there.
Okay.
Morning.
Good morning, dear.
You hear the old rattle trap clearing out?
No.
Well, it must have been about dawn, I guess. Well, the old coot kept his promise anyway.
Breakfast is almost ready. I'll go get Jeff up.
Why?
Father, come in here. Jeff!
What's the matter? What's the trouble?
Jeff's not here.
That's Peabody's doing. Now, I'll go find him. You call the constable.
Oh, now, wait a minute. Maybe we're jumping to conclusions.
Look, I told you in the first place I didn't trust that lying old skinflint.
Hello? Ellen? They caught him. George and Claire bringing him back to the farm. You'd never believe the way it all happened. They're here now, Jenny. Look. Where's my boy? What have you done with my boy?
Now, ma'am, the boy's all right. Like I was telling the constable.
Never mind what you told the constable. Where's the boy?
Well, now,
Mr. Peabody, haven't you any feelings?
trouble is, ma'am, I got too much. Come on, I'll take you to him.
We'll go in my car.
Oh, Jeff! Jeff, darling, are you all right?
Sure, Mom.
Well, what are you doing in here?
Can I tell him, Mr. Peabody?
Not much of a secret no more.
I guess not. Well, Mr. Peabody had some trouble with his car. While he was fixing it, Lassie and I came in to start the digging.
Digging? Digging for what?
Buried treasure.
You had to bamboozle the boy right up to the last minute, didn't you?
I guess you won't be needing me. I'll wait in the car.
Thanks, Clay. Well, let's get you back to the house and try to get you cleaned up.
Come on, Lassie. Look, Mom! Look, Mr. Peabody. It's the treasure, the Mexican treasure. We found it just where you said it'd be. Golly! Look, Gramps, a real treasure. Diamonds and rubies and bracelets and rings and Mexican money and everything.
Don't look like much to me.
What's treasure to one man, Mr. Miller, ain't always treasure to another. Goodbye, son. Goodbye, ma'am.
Goodbye, Mr. Peabody.
Goodbye, Mr. Miller. It's been real nice knowing you. Goodbye, Lassie.
Mr. Peabody, what about the treasure? And what about the Mexican government?
Oh, the Mexican government. Oh, they won't care. I've got a lot of other treasures to dig up for them. They won't ever miss this one. Take good care of yourself.
Certainly was nice of Mr. Peabody to let you keep all the treasure.
Yeah, I'm making a collar for Lassie out of these beads.
For Lassie?
Sure. Come here, Lassie. Come on. See? Say, Mom, you didn't think the treasure was real, did you?
Well, didn't you?
Of course not. I saw this box in Mr. Peabody's car the first day he got here.
Well, didn't you believe any of the things that he told you?
Aw, Mom, they were just stories like in a book or on the radio.
Would you mind telling Gramps that?
Where'd these come from? Found them in the sitting room.
Oh, I forgot to tell you. Mr. Peabody dug those up night before last and left them there. The night you caught him prowling. Jeff has something to tell you.
What?
Well, Gramps, I knew that this treasure wasn't real. I knew that Mr. Peabody planted the box there so that I'd think I was digging for buried treasure. I knew it all along.
Why in tarnation didn't you say so? Why didn't you show him up?
Because I was having fun, and I wanted Mr. Peabody to have some fun, too.